love that part. It's not often I get that I get applause for myself, but and my colleague Diane. But thank you so much. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Central Library. My name is Wendy Westgate, and this is Diane Olivo-Posner, and we are part of Los Angeles Public Library's LA Made team. Yes. And LA Made is a series of cultural programs funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities. And this season, which was our fourth season, we offered 165 educational and entertaining programs, both here at the Taper and at branches all across the system. Oh, I love the applause. Maybe I should apply to be an LA Made performer. So to introduce today's program, I am very pleased to welcome back to the Taper stage one of my very favorite LA Made collaborators, the co-founder of Strong Words, Mr. Larry Dean Harris. So please give Larry a very warm welcome.
Oh, you are in for a treat. This will be my third CROON show this weekend, and I can't wait. They are on fire. They were in San Diego and the Valley and Palm Springs, and it was all to get ready for you folks. But first, a story. Whatever happened to romance? Whatever happened to dancing slow and kissing hard? That's what happened to romance. All right, let's try it again. Whatever happened to love letters and walking in the rain and holding hands and sunsets and chocolates wrapped in foil and flirtation wrapped in innuendo? Somewhere along the line, we swiped right, forgot to pass go and collect our 200 tender kisses on the cheek along the way. As a child in the late 60s, growing up in the Ohio heartland, I got my first glimpse of romance. Mom waiting at the kitchen door for Dad to return from swing shift factory hell. Regardless of whether it was 4 p.m. or midnight or 8 o'clock in the morning, she'd apply fresh lipstick at the first hint of the Chevy Impala entering the gravel driveway. That gentle crunch of rubber meets stone was Midwestern suburban foreplay. Then Dad would sweep in like this blue-collar Cary Grant, drop his lunch pail on the dinette table, and sweep Mom up in this epic lip lock that took her breath away. When Mom died unexpectedly, so did the romance in our house. Even after remarrying, Dad never kissed my stepmother the same way. Cary Grant had left the building. But then along came puberty and a tidal wave of confusion and hormones, and the girls who were once my friends on the playground were now adversaries in this strange new dance. I needed to make a romantic gesture of my own, so I took my paper route money and bought a shiny new mood ring. Who's old enough to remember mood rings? I love you. For my 6th grade girlfriend, Crystal Silcox. We were couples speed skate champs at the roller rink, and I thought this was as good as it got, until Crystal found someone faster in more ways than one and unceremoniously flushed the ring. I was crushed. I was through with romance, and I sought solace in the poetry of the J. Giles Band. Hey, Reputa the Beauty, flip down your hair and let me climb up to the ladder of your love. There was no romance in the 70s. Karen Carpenter had said goodbye to love, so had I. We were all just going through the motions, you know? Peggy Pickett, how's that for a name? Peggy Pickett asks me to dance at the junior high mixer, and I reluctantly acquiesce. Her strapless dress is a poor choice for the acne she bears. And I know it's only a matter of time before some idiot will say, "You have a pimple, Peggy. Pick it." I wouldn't experience my first great love until I was 17. Ours was a secret romance of notes passed in study hall, dedications on the radio, holding hands at midnight. And it was perfect until one day it wasn't. Romance one moment, betrayal and heartache the next. I'm sure none of you have ever experienced this, but let me tell you, it was awful. So I gave up on the stuff for good, for decades, until one day I hear the siren song of Ella Fitzgerald. Not the Ella Fitzgerald of her later years, but the tender, loving Ella Fitzgerald of her years on Verve Records with those glorious Nelson Riddle orchestrations and the sound that only comes from the Capitol Records recording studio, the same studio where Todd Murray records his records. And Ella was my gateway drug to romance. Before long, I was hooked on Frank and Tony and Miles and Chet Baker and Sarah Vaughan and Dinah Washington. Oh, for a time machine that would take me back to the age of romance. But unbeknownst to me, in the nearby state of Pennsylvania, around the same time, there was another fella on a surprisingly similar trajectory, searching for romance. A farm boy who was cut from the same cloth as Ella and Frank, who dared to dream of moonlight kisses on the front porch and catching the sound in his heart of someone's laughter across the crowded room. And because I needed a gentle nudge, the universe sent him my way. You could not ask for a better friend. Quick with the laugh, generous beyond the call, and that voice. Oh, he's gonna boom his way into your life and your heart, I promise. And he's like this all the time. The phone will ring. Hello, Larry, it's Todd. Goosebumps. Todd Murray makes you want to believe in romance. And when you're open to the idea, it'll come to you when you least expect it. Boom. And you'll realize that romance isn't just about kissing and moonlight and holding hands and love songs. Romance is about sticking around, trying again, saying I'm sorry first, not saying I told you so even though you were right. Romance is about foot rubs and ice cream and putting down the phone. Romance is about listening with an intensity that most people can only muster when they're speaking. When it comes to romance, here's what Cardi B has to say. No blank got a mouth like me. No blank got a blank like me. The blank. Blanks can't blank like me. Rap and spit on the blank at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, we need him now more than ever. So please welcome the captain of CROON, the king of romance, with the most amazing trio. You're going to be in love. Mr. Todd Murray.
I want to be loved with inspiration. I want to be loved starting tonight. Instead of merely holding conversation, hold me tight. I want to be loved. I crave affection. Those kisses of yours I'd gladly share. I want your eyes to shine in my direction. Make me care. I want the kind of romance that is strong and equally as tender. I only ask for the chance to know the meaning of the word surrender. I wanna be thrilled by only you, dear. I wanna be thrilled by your caress. I want each dream of mine to come true, dear. I wanna be depart. Lover, I surrender to my heart. Thank you. Hey guys, guys up there, can I have a little bit more vocal in my wedge up front here? Thank you very much. How is everybody this afternoon? I'm not used to singing without martini glasses and champagne, and I hope you still like it. And they're usually tanked when they're watching me, you know? It's good. So, welcome to CROON. From the time I started to do my own shows, when someone would write about me or write a review, more times than not, they would use the word croon or crooner. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't know what that meant. I had heard the term, but it turns out that crooning, by definition, is singing intimately with a microphone. Singing intimately with a microphone. Now, if you're like me, I'm thinking, well, can I sing intimately without a microphone? Yes, but only one person's going to hear you. See, up until this point, until the point when amplification was invented, to be a professional singer, you not only had to probably sing beautifully and on pitch, but you also had to sing loudly. It was a prerequisite of being a professional singer. And this had its drawbacks when a singer was given a lyric to interpret. For instance, if you were in town in 1920, the biggest orchestra at the time was, who was it?
Paul Whiteman.
Yeah, him. I was starting to say Glenn Miller. Paul Whiteman and his orchestra. He introduced this song, and this is what you would have heard. The song is called Whispering. You see what I mean? So now, with this device, this is possible. Whispering while you cuddle near me. Whispering so no one near can hear me. It's as if up until this point in history, singers had blues and yellows in which to color their songs. And now all of a sudden, they were handed red. The warmth, the romance, the intimacy, the sex of red. And now whether I'm singing to 30 people or 3,000 people, I can sing a song that's meant for you and only you. It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me. Oh, my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night, the nearness of you. Thank you. In days of old when knights were bold, fair ladies were enraptured by stirring deeds of chivalry and daring. But nowadays in other ways, fair maids are won and captured. You'll hear the best authorities declaring, learn to croon if you want to win your heart's desire. Sweet melody of love inspires romance. Just murmur boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo, and when you do, she'll answer boo-boo-boo-boo-boo, and nestle closer to you. Learn to croon, you'll eliminate each rival soon. If you're headed for a sunny honeymoon, learn to croon. That's Sean Harkness on the ukulele.
Yes, Sean.
Now, I mentioned at the opening that it was oftentimes considered scandalous. And you might wonder why. And in order to understand it, I think we have to go back in time and understand what was going on in society and in the music world. You see, up until this point, a lot of the music was oftentimes operatic or operetta. It was pastoral. It was about settings and about the idea of love. And also a lot of saloon songs. You know, fun, happy songs. Yes, we have no bananas. Katie. This sort of silly, happy music. And also in society, what was going on when I'm talking about when we get up to the 1920s, women were expected to not show any leg. Their hair was up. They weren't allowed to vote. And there was a certain amount of control going on. Men were able to control their families more in the way they wanted to control them. Expose them more or less what they wanted to expose them to. Starting in the mid-20s, within 2 years, over 65% of America had a box sitting in their house. And from that box was a man talking. For the first time, when a gentleman left his house and went to work and left his family and his wife back home, there's a man talking to them, filling their heads with ideas. And the producers of radio at that time knew what they knew what they know now. And that's that women more than likely control the purse strings. So they needed to sell advertising, and so that they could sell their brand new electric fans and then electric refrigerators. And in order to keep their attention, they had men sing love songs. Now this titillated our ladies and 10% of our men. Oh, it still goes over here. I wasn't sure. And 10% of our men. So, and anytime there's a little titillation going on with our ladies, there's one organization that always has something to say about it. This is an article from the New York Times, 1932. Hearty endorsement by Boston's Catholic Cardinal O'Connell on radio crooning was expressed in a unanimous resolution by the New York Singing Teachers Association. The association attacked crooning as a distorted type of singing, which was detrimental to the highest form of normal voice processes as well as a corrupter of youth. Archbishop O'Connell described the radio crooners as whiners and bleaters defiling the air. It is a degenerate form of singing containing the basest appeal to sex emotions in the young. I like to use my radio, he said, when weary. But I cannot turn the dials without getting these whiners crying vapid words to impossible tunes. They are not true love songs, they profane the name. They are revolting to true men. So that's 1932. Now, crooning was possible before the radio, and that was because we had the recording industry. It was possible to sing conversationally into a cone which etched into wax and made records. So you could put a record on a Victrola and hear someone croon. And the biggest star of the time was Rudy Valley. And if you ever saw pictures of Rudy Valley in public, he always had a megaphone. That's because without amplification, you could not hear the guy. Now the girls were going crazy. They're jumping up and down to look inside the megaphone to see his mouth. Yeah, it was a little crazy. But you could not hear him. He was the biggest star in crooning up until, say, the late 1920s. But when radio came in, so did another star. And it was the perfect storm of a talent and the radio coming in and a new style. As we got into 1929 and then into the 30s, of course, the Depression took over. And people were ripe for needing a hero, needing some comfort, needing someone who was one of them. And that person turned out to be Bing Crosby. Now, Bing Crosby was very different from Rudy Valley. Rudy Valley sang in more of a higher falsetto, very light. La up here. Bing Crosby came in, he had a lower voice. He also seemed to be the same guy on stage that he was off stage. He was very accessible. He seemed to be one of us. And he was singing love songs to the ladies, but even the guys liked him because he was a hunter, a fisherman. When he first got to Hollywood, he was a bit of a bad boy. So even the guys liked him. And he was exactly what the American people needed. And because of the radio, for the first time, you no longer had to be in the same city as the singer to hear him. You didn't have to have a Victrola. If you had a radio, you could hear Bing Crosby worldwide. He became the biggest star. And because he sang in a lower register, crooning became more associated with a baritone sound. This was a hit for him the same year that New York Times article was written. Like all fools, I believed what I wanted to believe. My foolish heart conceived what foolish hearts conceive. I thought I found a miracle. I thought that you'd adore me, but it was not a miracle. It was merely a mirage before me. You are too beautiful, my dear, to be true, and I am a fool for beauty, fooled by the feeling that because I had found you, I could have bound you too. You are too beautiful for one man alone, for one lucky fool to be with. When there are other guys with eyes of their own to see with, love does not stand sharing, not if one cares. Have you been comparing my every kiss with theirs? If on the other hand I'm faithful to you, it's not through a sense of duty. You are too beautiful, and I am a fool for beauty. Not stand sharing, not if one cares. Have you been comparing my every kiss with theirs? And if on the other hand faithful to you, it's not through a sense of duty. No, you are too beautiful, and I am a fool for beauty. Sean Harkness. Missed the Saturday dance. Heard they crowded the floor. Couldn't bear it without you. Don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club. I got as far as the door. They'd have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Well, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, so I stir up memories. Been invited on dates. Might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. How about Steve Doyle on the bass? Well, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, so I stir up old memories. Been invited on dates. Oh, I might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. It's awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Don't get around much anymore. Oh no. I think maybe it's time that I introduce these guys up here, don't you think? All three of them are here from New York City, and it's very difficult to put together a week that we can all the finances and everything worked out, and thankfully for the library, this was a great reason for us to be out here. And please welcome on guitar, Sean Harkness. Bass is Steve Doyle. And our music director and on piano, Alex Rybeck. It's also quite a coup to have these guys backing you up because they're soloists in of themselves. Check out their websites. They have recordings. It's really nice to have them here for support. Now we're up until the 1940s, and of course what was taking over was World War II. And crooning, singing intimately with a microphone, could not have come at a better time. You see, once we were able to sing conversationally like this, lyrics started to change. Rather than about, like I said, talking about ideas, we had conversations with people. All this music that I present to you tonight, this afternoon, is a conversation between two people. And I had an experience that really brought home to me what the music of that time meant. I was in Santa Fe visiting a friend, and there was an ad in the newspaper that they were selling rides on a B-17 bomber. So, you know, America had thousands of these planes used for long-distance bombing in World War II, and there was apparently only 11 of them in existence that were working, and this was like a fundraiser. So we went out to the airport, and only 9 of us could ride because it was restored to exactly the way it was during the war, and we had to sit in gunning stations, or if you're big like me, could only fit in the radio part. And we took off, and they flew very low, and the bombing bay was open so you could see the ground, and everyone was sort of, you know, laughing and taking pictures, and it was very, very exciting. But about 10 minutes in, a hush came over everyone, including myself. And I started to think about what it must have been like to be in the air over hostile lands, being shot at. And I started to get a sense of how different the experience was from what we see in movies. You know, they oftentimes portray this as all bravery, which of course it is. But what I was feeling at that moment was terror. When I tell you that the sides of this plane were no thicker than a Coke can, they wouldn't stop anything. No shrapnel, nothing. It would come right through. And I started to get a sense of all these guys that I'm in the plane with, I came up in the ranks with, I trained with, they were my buddies. They relied on me to keep them safe. I relied on them. And if you came under fire, it was terrifying. It had to be terrifying. And then I started to think about the boxes of gifts and letters that came from home. And then I started to think about the music. The music during the war era was almost always sentimental. It was almost always saying, we are rooting for you, we haven't forgotten about you, we are waiting for you, we know you're gonna come home. The music at the time was 3 minutes of respite, 3 minutes of safety and warmth and home. This song was a hit in 1945. Darling, I'm so blue without you. I think about you the livelong day. When you ask me if I'm lonely, then I have only this to say. You'll never know just how much I miss you. You'll never know just how much I care. Oh, and if I tried, I still couldn't hide my love for you. Well, you ought to know, or haven't I told you so a million or more times? went away and my heart went with you. I speak your name in my every prayer. If there is some other way to prove that I love you, I swear I don't know how. But you never know if you don't know now. So when our men and women did come back, they were exposed to many new cultures. They brought back different foods, different dress, different rhythms. So, how am I ever to know? You always tell me, perhaps, tell me, perhaps. A million times I've asked you, and then I ask you over again. You always answer, perhaps, answer. If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't want to wind up being parted, broken-hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't, dear, confess. But please don't answer, perhaps. If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't want to wind up being parted, broken-hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't, dear, confess. But please don't answer, perhaps. Oh, tell me that you love me. Don't make me wait. Oh, tell me that you love me. I can't wait. Oh, tell me that you love me. I can't wait. Oh, tell me that you love me. I can't wait. Don't make me wait. Don't make me wait. I can't wait. I've got you under my skin. Oh, I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. Oh, I've got you under my skin. Oh, I tried so not to give in. I kept telling myself this affair never can go so well. So why should I try to resist when, darling, I know so well I've got you under my skin. Oh, I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of the warning voice that calls in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. I'll use your mentality. Wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. Oh, I've got you. Oh, I've got you. So deep in my heart, I've got you under my skin. Oh, I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of the warning voice that calls in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Oh, use your mentality. Wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. Oh, I've got you. Oh, I've got you under my skin. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was a big hit in 1956 for Frank Sinatra. And we haven't spoken about Frank yet. And when it comes to crooning, we certainly should, right? The truth is that Frank Sinatra did not like to be called a crooner. He instructed people, do not call me a crooner. And that was for one reason. Crooners were the old guys. He wanted to be the hip new guy. He liked to be called a saloon singer. He was a torch singer. But of course, who sang more intimately with a microphone than Frank Sinatra? But Frank Sinatra, when I was doing my research, I was sort of looking at, well, of course Frank has a beautiful voice, but what made him, the next big thing? And I realized that, like I said earlier, Bing Crosby was very approachable. He was very conversational. It seemed like, he just played golf, walked on stage, sang a little tune, and walked back off, right? And he instructed his writers to not give him lyrics such as, I'm in love with you. He said, I can't pull it off. Frank Sinatra had no problem telling you he was in love with you. He had no problem telling you you were breaking his heart, right? He was the next evolution in getting closer and closer to intimacy and to the truth. And this was, in the 50s, was the second part of his career. He was a big, he came on the scene in around 1940, and then things sort of died down. Then he came back with his swing stuff at Capitol Records right here. And that was in 1956. Songs for Swingin' Lovers was that album. But what was now starting to take over in the 50s in America was rock and roll. Rock and roll was not only a whole different vibe, but it was a whole different song structure. It was basically repetitive lyrics, right? They no longer really told stories quite the way they did before. And it was much more about percussion. But you have to remember that rock and rollers in the 50s grew up in the 1930s and the 1940s. They grew up listening to Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra. They knew about crooning, and they used it. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfilled. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Wise men say only fools rush in, for I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like the river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you. So when it comes to the microphone, one thing we haven't talked about either, and it's probably a whole different show, is how microphones changed the theater world. Some would say it's for the good, some of the I think it's for the better, don't you? If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in summer. Seeing you in summer, I never would go. Your hair streaked with sunlight, your lips red as flame, your face with a luster that puts gold to shame. And if I'd ever leave you, how could it be in autumn? How I'd leave in autumn, I never would know. I've seen how you sparkle when fall nips the air. Oh, I've seen you in autumn, and I must be there. And could I leave you running merrily through the snow, or on a wintry evening when you catch the fire's glow? If ever I would leave you, it couldn't be in springtime, knowing how in spring I'm bewitched by you so. Oh no, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. No, never could I leave you at all. Alex Rybeck on the keyboard. And could I leave you running merrily through the snow, or on a wintry evening when you catch the fire's glow? If ever I would leave you, how could it be in springtime, knowing how in spring I'm bewitched by you so? No, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. No, never could I leave you at all. Oh no, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. No, never could I leave you at all. No, never could I leave you at all. No, never could I leave you. Thank you. So now we're in the 60s and rock and roll was going full blast, the British invasion. But there were still writers who were writing in the old style songs with stories, where lyrics were a real craft. This is a quite famous one by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. You see this guy's in love with you. Yes, I'm in love. Now who looks at you the way I do? When you smile, I can tell we know each other very well. How can I show you? I'm glad I got to know you, 'cause I heard some talk They say you think I'm fine. Yes, I'm in love. And what I do to make you mine? Tell me now, is it so? Don't let me be the last to know. My hands are shaking. Don't let my heart keep breaking, 'cause I need your love. I want your love. Say you're in love with this sky. If not, I'll just die. Tell me now, is it so? Don't let me be the last to know. My hands are shaking. Don't let my heart keep breaking, 'cause I need your love. I want your love. Say you're in love with this guy. If not, I'll just die. Did you know that one? Yeah. You know all of them. Good. This is my kind of crowd. So that's 1969. So now we're headed into the 70s. And I will admit to you that things got a little rough when I was putting together this show to look for crooning examples. And I remember the exact moment when I knew what it is I wanted to do. I grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania. And I remember a summer night that I was walking up to our house, and my father was sitting on the porch watching television. We had a TV out on the porch. And I walked up and I heard this music, and I saw this guy standing there in white spandex with some fringe on the side, a couple little, sequins and mirrors and stuff going on. And then this brass section, trumpets up, trombones going this way, trumpets going that way. And that was the minute I knew that I wanted to be KC and the Sunshine Band. That's right. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm into whatever I can, be it early morning, a late afternoon, you know this one, Michael, or at midnight. Oh, it's never too soon. I'm your boogeyman. Okay, that's good. So, thank you. I know. I like to think that disco's loss was cabaret's gain. Right? But as we got into the 70s, I did have to search a little hard, but lucky for you, I did find a little gem. And it does require a little bit of audience participation. You're going to know this. You're going to know this one too. And when it comes time for backup singers, I need you to help me out. Okay, help a guy out there. Okay. Ready, fellas? Yes. You're not very cool today, are you? 1, 2. never find, as long as you live, someone who cares about you the way I do. You'll never find, no matter where you search, someone who cares about you the way I do. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the one who loves you, and there's no one else. No one else. You'll never find. It'll take the end of all time. Someone who understands you the way I do. You'll never find the rhythm, the rhyme, or the magic we shared, just us two. Oh, I'm not trying to make you stay, baby, but I know somehow, some way, someday, here comes your part. Ready? You're gonna miss my lovin'. Oh, you're gonna miss my lovin'. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. See, this is where martinis really help. Oh, oh, in the midnight hour, when it's cold outside, you're gonna miss my love. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. Oh, one more time. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. Oh, gonna miss my loving. Now here comes the 70s fade. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. Oh. Do not try that at home. It's very, very dangerous. If you want a lover, I'll do anything you ask me to. And if you want another kind of love, I'll wear a mask for you. And if you want a partner, take my hand. Or if you want to strike me down in anger, you know you can. 'Cause I'm your man. If you want a boxer, I will step into the ring for you. Or if you want a doctor, I'll examine every inch of you. And if you want a driver, climb inside, or only want to take me for a ride, you know you can. 'Cause I'm your man. Oh, the moon's too bright, the chain's too tight, this Jeep won't go to sleep. I've been running through these promises to you that I made and could not keep. But a man's never got his lover back, not by begging on his knees. I'd crawl to you, baby, and I'd fall at your feet, and howl at your beauty like a dog in heat. And I'd claw at your heart, I'd tear at your sheet, I'd say please. 'cause I'm your man. If you want to sleep a moment on the road, I will steer for you. And if you want to work that street alone, I'll disappear for you. And if you want a father for your child, or only want to walk with me for a while, cross the sand, well, I'm your man. Oh, the moon's too bright. Oh, the moon's too bright. The chain's too tight. The beast won't go to sleep. I've been running through these promises to you that I made and could not keep. But a man's never got his lover back, not by begging on his knees. I'd crawl to you, baby, and I'd fall at your feet. I'd howl at your beauty like a doggy in heat, and I'd claw at your heart. I'd tear at your sheet. I'd say, please, 'cause I'm your man. Oh, I'm your man. I'm your man. You know who wrote that one? Leonard Cohen. Now, where would Leonard Cohen be without a microphone? Singing intimately with microphone. If you made the connection, what was originally called crooning, singing intimately with a microphone, and which was considered too intimate, is now the gold standard. We expect to hear that intimacy. It is what pop music is today. And I write music from time to time, and I was in Manhattan some years back, and maybe I was going through a little something, and a lyric came to me, and I jotted it down quick, and I finished it off when I was on a plane, and I stuck it in a drawer because I didn't know if I wanted to look at it again or what I was going to do with it. But when I started to work with Alex, he's a wonderful composer, and I slipped him the lyric to see what he thought, and happily he liked it. So we wrote this next song, and it's called "And I'm Leaving Today." Flurries fly through misty air from riverside to God knows where. Just a winter's day in Manhattan. From where I stand, the clouds reach down, and where they stop is uncertain. They creep down and reach deep within my mind. And I wonder, and I'm leaving today. And it's a long, long way to fly far away from you. A midnight run to reach a morning sun that you won't see. Am I flying to a life without you, where the skies are all too blue? Or am I leaving today only to find my way, only to find my way back to you? I'm not sure what life would hold if you weren't close beside me. So many years, so many tears have fallen. But in the past, when skies grew dim, the sun would rise even brighter. Should I stay and hang on till the dawn? Oh, I wonder, and I'm leaving today. And it's a long, long way to fly, far away from you. Oh, a midnight run to reach a morning sun that you won't see. Am I flying to a life without you, where the skies are all too blue? Or am I leaving today only to find my way, only to find my way back to you? Here I am again with this doubting, and this heart of mine keeps on shouting, is this enough? Are we enough?
And I'm leaving today.
Oh, I'm leaving today, and it's a long, long way to fly far away from you. Oh, a midnight run to reach a morning sun that you won't see. Am I flying to a life without you? Oh, where the skies are all too blue? Or am I leaving today only to find my way, only to find my way back?
And I'm leaving today.
Only to find my way back.
And I'm leaving today.
Only to find my way back to you. Oh, I wonder. One, two, 1, 2. I can only give you love that lasts forever, and a promise to be near each time you call. And the only heart I own that's yours and yours alone, that's all. Oh, that's all. I can only give you country walks in springtime, and a hand to hold when leaves begin to fall, and a love whose burning light will warm the winter's night, that's all. Oh, that's all. Now there are those, I am sure, who have told you they would give you the world for a toy. Well, all I have are these arms to enfold you, and a love time can never destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you'll adore, for now and evermore, that's all. Oh, that's all. How about Sean Harkness? Guitar. on bass. Alex Ryback, keyboards. Now there are those, I am sure, who have told you they would give you the world for a toy. Well, all I have are these arms to enfold you, and a love time can never destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you'll adore for now and evermore. That's all. Oh, that's all. Oh, that's all. That's all. Thank you.
Whispering the while you cuddle near me, whispering so no one near can hear me.
Each little whisper seems to cheer me. I know it's true, there is no one but you. Well, did you have fun this afternoon? You learned a little something about crooning. It was. I didn't tell you that this is a modern version of what we always saw Sinatra and Bing Crosby use. They were called ribbon mics. This is a modern version of those. Help me in thanking these guys. Would you one more time? On guitar, Sean Harkness. Steve Doyle on bass. And Alex Ryback. Thank you. And thank you to LA Made for having us. This is the end of their season. You're coming back for Strong Words next year. It's February, right? Thank you. Whispering just why you'll never leave me. Whispering just why you'll never grieve me. Whisper and say that you believe me. Whisper that I love but you.
Whispering while you cuddle near me.
Whisper that I love but you.
Whispering so no one will hear me.
Whisper that I love but you. And thank you to Wendy for having us, honey. Thank you. Congratulations on your season. Yes. It was great to be here. And Larry Harris. Don't we love ourselves some Larry Harris? And have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon. I'll be out front. Please say hi, okay?